What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another video here at Domestic Automotive Authority. I know it's been a little while since I posted the last video, but it's because I've been waiting for something special. So if you'll hang tight, I'll walk you through it and show you what we've got. So this is the 2020 Charger Scat-Pack Widebody. So I'm sure many of you have seen pictures and videos of these things already, but today we're going to go a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to show you some of the capabilities and show you some of the features that really make this thing what it is. So to just get started, obviously, as everyone can tell, this one does have the Widebody kit on it. Now the Widebody kit's not just the fender flares, it comes with different tuned suspension. You've got wider wheels, wider tires, and I'll show you a little bit more in depth on that in a second. But to just get started, this thing does have 485 horsepower, 475 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 times on these are registered right at 4.1 seconds, and quarter mile times at 12.3. So for a naturally aspirated four-door sedan, that's pretty damn impressive. So adding the extra meat on these, so you can tell here we've got the 305, 35 R20s all the way around, square stance. Aside from that, you can tell we've got the 6-piston Brembo brakes up front with the 4-piston Brembo brakes in the rear. Now these are slotted rotors as well to give you all the stopping power that you need. But with these 305s all the way around, on the skid pad, it actually can pull 0.98 Gs. So 0.98 Gs out of a four-door sedan is absolutely insane. Now the Charger Hellcat Widebody actually only pulls 0.96 because of the extra weight up front. Now this does have a specialty tuned suspension for the 6.4 or 392, so it is a little bit lighter than the 6.2 with the supercharger on the Hellcat. So with that, it gives you a little bit more of a pull on the G-pad. So for the appearance on the front, you can tell it's set up just a little bit different than your standard Scat-Pack. Of course, you can tell you do have the flow-through design to cool down your brakes there. And on this one, you're going to tell this one has the safety group with advanced technology package on it. So it does have the adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, lane departure, blind spot monitoring, all that. So you've got the extra camera right there. Now, aside from that, you'll see the hood scoop, which is carried on to our traditional Scat-Packs as well. But if you look back here, you'll also see a flow-through design in the rear as well, just to help the aerodynamics a little bit. Now that is actually functional, so it's not just there for looks, but you can tell there it goes through and comes out from the rear fender vent right there. Give you a look of the wide body from the rear and the quarter angle. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. It looks mean. So like I was saying before, this one is loaded out a little bit more than your standard wide body. Of course, we've got the leather with the red suede inserts. It's got the active exhaust as well, just like all the other ones will have. 6-piston Brembo brakes, adaptive cruise control, adaptive dampening suspension, all of it right here. And feel free to pause and take a minute to look over some of the options on this one. And all of those things combined will take you to the sticker price of $57,355. Now these do have some rebates on them as well. Usually with these, in the past, we've been able to expect, $10 per horsepower, just pretty impressive. But to carry on to the inside, as you can tell, this one, I mean, it's just equipped exactly the way it should be. You've got your lane departure there, different drive modes there as well. And then adaptive cruise control settings and controls right there. Let me turn it on here to show you. So on the screen setup over here, of course you've got all the traditional controls, but whenever you go down here, you're actually able to select your drive modes. And through drive modes, you can control a whole different slew of options. So of course you can change and look at your performance pages. So here on your performance pages, like I said, you can go through a whole different slew of options here, but you can dyno it for your, it actually measures it at the crank, so you can test it and see what it really is. And you can see the little jump there. It's pretty impressive, and the gauges are pretty accurate as well. You can go through here and check all your performance, and you can actually check all of your temperatures, everything like that for the engine. You can measure your G-forces there, and it'll actually hold and show you your max G's that you've pulled, lateral, horizontal, everything like that. Then you've got your standard gauges here, everything you'd want to keep up with whenever you're on the track. You've got your timers here, and it will keep your time. It'll keep your top time for all of them. You can look at your acceleration and braking, and then whenever you go home here, of course, you see the actual setup for the basic options. It'll show you the power that you're at currently and everything like that. Now, whenever you go back to your standard drive modes, you can go through here and select all your different options that you want to do. So, of course, it has launch control. You can activate your shift lock, as well as your adaptive line lock control. And your line lock really does help you warm up your tires. And aside from that, once your line lock's on, it will help you go. I mean, it just hooks up and goes. Your launch control here is just absolutely insane. And if you want to go through your quick launch control, you can be on any page, click that, and it will pop up on your screen. So going back through here, of course, it does have an active two-stage exhaust. So whenever you go through auto, you can go to track right here. As soon as you go to sport, your exhaust will activate. You can set your launch control, different RPMs, whatever you need. Of course, each track's going to be a little bit different. Now, aside from that, I want to show you a little bit more on the interior here. So for the badging, of course, you got the 392 with the Rumblebee right there. And then we do have the red interior with this one, so the red suede inserts. And your Rumblebee there will be covered in red now as well. And this one does even have the heated seats in the rear, which is just absolutely insane. Now, a lot of people have asked me, if it came down to it and it's time for me to buy one of these, what would I get? And to give you my honest answer, this is the one I'd get. How often do you really get to use 707 horsepower on the road? 485 horsepower for me would be more than enough on the road, and of course you can build onto that. But for what you get practicality-wise, for the performance, I feel like there's no other option for this. Now, you save $23,000 on a Hellcat wide body versus this one, which is just insane. And a lot of people will say, you only say that just because this is the one you could afford, but really and truly, this is it. It's not that it's the only one I could afford, it's the one that I would want to pay for. It's the biggest bang for your buck. And you really don't get to test the capabilities on the road. I mean, you can't even come close to the limits of this car on the road or with daily driving. So for me, for what I'd be using it for, I feel like there's no other option. It's definitely the way to go. The way it corners, the way it handles in every situation, it really doesn't leave you asking for any more. I think this would suffice. I'm not saying there's no need for the Hellcat Red Eye, the Hellcat Wide Body, the Super Stock. Those cars are awesome. But if you're actually going to drive it, this is the car to get. Well, that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you watching the whole video. If you've got to this point, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and let me know what you want to see next. As always, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.